What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mag. So, of course, last night there was a fan meeting at the Stack, and of course the hierarchy of Newcastle United were there as well. Paul Mitchell was there, Darren Eales was there, Brad Miller was there. You know, all of the hierarchy running the club these days were at this St James Stack last night for a fan supporter meeting once again. And on the agenda was, of course, the talk about St James's Park once again. As you might have guessed by the title of this video and by the thumbnail of this video, of course it is to talk about the future of St James's Park and what was said last night, and also talk about a few of the other things that was said last night as well. So we're going to be running through some of the key points that were talked about at the Newcastle United supporters event at St James's Stack last night. Of course, unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there because I am not a Magpie Plus member. And only Magpie Plus members, of course, are allowed to go, from my understanding at least. So, looking at what Mitchell had to say, in the early months he was talking about coming into the club, and of course he joined mid-transfer window, and he wouldn't repeat that experience. He said that he thought that was a bad idea to join during a transfer window. And he went on for quite a little while to talk about that and his thoughts on why he thought it was a bad idea to join midway through a transfer window. And of course he praised the club's handling of the PSR situation in June as well, considering the difficulties that were under at that time and how we had to deal with the situation in such a very short space of time as well. He praised the club on the handling of that, and he also then went on to say his aims to build on the club's strength in the foundation of the club and push for the consistent improvement of the team as well moving forward. Then he went on to talk about, of course, his relationship with Eddie Howe, flexible relationship, he said, based on the situation. The mutual respect and collaboration between the two as well is very good. Mitchell's saying that he's willing to support Howe's vision for the first team and oversee development squads and the women's team as well, which we've seen, you know, with the women's side of things since Paul Mitchell's came in. We have seen a lot of big named players coming into the squad, the likes of Demi Stokes, Shania Hales as well, and a few other players coming in there as well. So the lasses are doing well this season as well in the championship, first time in, and they're getting massive crowds as expected. To be honest, you know, and hopefully not long until they'll get into the WSL. If they keep up the performances that they're doing so far this season, then I think that it could be a pretty good possibility that the Mebbies could get another back-to-back promotion and get up into the WSL. But they're doing really well at the moment, the lasses, and the development squads as well, doing very well there. The young lads last night picked up a 5-1 win in their Senior Cup game as well, so brilliant by them. But Howe and Mitchell got a really great relationship working together, as Mitchell has said last night in the supporters event. Moving on to some other things that were mentioned as well. He did joke a little bit as well, saying that he might have to pay more visits to the Stack to get up the PSR by going in buying drinks. Of course, a little bit of humour by Mitchell to try and lighten the mood on this whole PSR problem that we're having to go through. And you know, we've talked about it so much on the channel already. I have, you know, about the fact that, you know, the APT problems and that over the last 3 years of them being unlawful rules. You know, we shouldn't really be in this situation, but Mitchell, you know, very upbeat about it. How very upbeat about it. Everybody at Newcastle United very upbeat about it, you know. So we're looking at a positive direction moving forward, and who knows what will happen with this PSR problem and this APT problem as well, because, you know, they're meant to be doing a meeting on Friday, of course. Tomorrow they're meant to be doing a meeting about the APT amendments, but there's quite a few clubs, you know, coming out and saying things against that. And, you know, the sport director focus on the first team enhancements through recruitment and trading, shape of the future of the playing squad as well, and build a contender for Newcastle United as well, to make us into a strong force to be reckoned with in the Premier League and in the world. as well. And then on the stadium feasibility studies, of course, exploring potential developments at St James's Park and potential move to a new stadium was on the agenda. A move would likely be to a nearby location as well. That was something that was massively stressed by Brad Miller, who is the man involved in the whole stadium situation at the moment. And he says that if we were to move away, it wouldn't be too far away from the current site of St James's Park, and an area that a lot of we have been saying, is just to move up into Leazes Park, which is only a little bit up Barrack Road. We get a take over that area, and there's plenty of land there to build, a really good stadium. And this comes about even more so after seeing, the recent images from Saudi Arabia for their World Cup stadium as well. The 92,000 plus stadium that they're going to be building out in the Middle East at Saudi Arabia, for that World Cup. And the same company that's building that stadium, Newcastle United have been in contact with about, what we can do with St James's Park, or what we could do with a brand new stadium. So there are plenty of things that have been talked about last night in the meeting at the Stack. But the new stadium could significantly increase the revenue compared to redeveloping St James's Park. Now, by increasing the revenue, I mean it's going to double the revenue by quite a bit. It's going to also make the new stadium, if we did decide to go with a new stadium, it would mean that that would be a multi-purpose venue. It wouldn't just be entirely for football. You'd be able to do other things there, like we see with the likes of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and other stadiums around the world, where they have a removable pitch. It goes away and you can put, ice down there, basketball court down there, NFL pitch down there if you want as well. You can do all sorts of different stuff. And I know there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be into that sort of thing, but it is going to generate revenue for the club. It is going to help with moving forward. And, if that's something that betters the team, then that is something that we should definitely be looking at moving forward, in my opinion anyway. I'm all for it, at the end of the day, because at the moment, St James's Park, yes, I love St James's Park, don't get us wrong, I would love to stay, but if there's a possibility of moving away and generating even more revenue and allowing the club to excel even further forward, by years, then we should be looking at it. We should not be turning our nose up to that. We should definitely be looking at it. But I can see the sentiment to why people would want to turn their nose up and say, let's stay at St James's Park. But there is a lot of people that are coming around to the idea that, maybe the building of a new stadium is the right idea to move forward as well. But there is going to be, obviously, this certain select fans that want to stay at St James's Park, and that's fair enough. Everybody's entitled to their opinion at the end of the day, but I'm all for it if it means, for the betterment of Newcastle United, then let's do it. We shouldn't be turning our nose up to that, like I say. And of course, the owners fully behind the stadium project as well, but they are saying that it will require a strong case before committing the funds. Of course, the funds are a once-in-a-lifetime fund that they're going to put up. They're going to put a massive fee to it, and if it's anything to go by, from what they're spending on the stadiums for the World Cup in Saudi Arabia, then it's just going to be a stadium that's going to knock everybody's stadiums out of the park. It's going to be best in class, as we've heard quite a few times since these owners have come in, and I fully understand that. It's going to be, the greatest stadium you've ever seen. But I can't wait to see, what happens moving forward. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Don't want to go on too long in this video, just want to get across my thoughts. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below about what was said last night in the supporters event at the Stack. And I'll see you all for the next one. Oh well, lads.